another coffee report. I'm gonna wake you guys up. Let's get this thing going. Yeah. All right. Let's rock and roll. Yeah. Yeah, let's roll, man. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. This Dak Prescott versus Landon Collins, it's not that. It's Dak Prescott versus the Giants. But although it's the Cowboys versus the Giants, it's not that. It's Dak Prescott versus the Giants. Because Dak Prescott, from what I know, from what I understand, that everyone is putting everything on this man. Now, granted, he had a horrible game, and I pointed out the good, the bad, the ugly. We pointed out all those things, and it just seems to me that it's Dak Prescott versus the Giants. We can make it individuals, but it is what it is. Now, in order for the Cowboys to win, they must give Ezekiel Elliott 15-plus carries. Not just no 15, but they have to give this guy over 20, over 25 carries. I do know that you want to preserve your back, but this is the thing. You have to figure out a way that you can give Ezekiel Elliott the ball. Remember, all through the offseason, I was telling everyone, don't worry about Dak Prescott. He is the bus driver. What we need to worry about here is giving the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. Trust what you know and trust what you believe with your eyes. And that's how this thing got to go. You got to believe in Ezekiel Elliott. Jason Garrett must give Ezekiel Elliott the ball. I do know that the latest trend been the fact that we do not get enough creativity as it relates to the ball being thrown down the field and things like that. Looking at the film, I always say this: it's different when you're looking at the all 22. They did line up they did a lot of reverse sweeps. They did the triples, the trips to the right. They did a lot of things that they could be creative with. Now, player execution, that was something that me and Vash Lombardi, we went over. We looked at some things, and we said, okay, they need to execute on their plays. They need to execute on certain plays. But this is the thing, and this is where I kind of, in the middle with Vash on this thing. Just because I drop the play, and just because my team is not able to execute the play, it's about when we drop the play. Because I can drop a nice, wonderful play, but if it's not needed to be at that point, then it's pointless for me to try to execute that play. It's kind of like, okay, I drew up the play for Shaquille O'Neal to shoot the three, and he just didn't execute it. But I drew up the play for Shaquille O'Neal to shoot the three. That's not his skill set. Now, as a coach, you got to understand that aspect of the game. Just because you draw up the play and you say, well, Shaq, he just didn't execute it. The play was drawn up well. It just doesn't work that way. And it is what it is. That's my brother from another mother. But I'm not saying that he's wrong, and I'm not saying that I'm right. But what I'm saying, that the staff, when we get down there to the red zone, money zone, or outside of the field, we need to do what got us there. And that's all I'm saying with the coffee report. But this is thing right here. Dak Prescott getting called out by Landon Collins. I'm going to tell you guys, I think it was 2015. That was his rookie year. That same guy, Landon Collins, called out the great. I'm talking about the great Jason Witten. And he called out Tony Romo too as well. He said, hey, I'm going to pick off Tony Romo 1 or 2 times. It's going to be medieval. And I believe the last part of the game, this went old reliable. When Tony Romo bobbled the ball a little bit from the snap, looked around, turned around, and bam, hit old reliable. But this is the thing, of course, this is Tony Romo's, and this is not Dak Prescott. So, it is what it is. But this is the thing, we can win, and we will win, and we should win if we stay to these things. Stick to the core. Run the ball, even if it seems like you're getting 2 yards, 3. But what that does is chipping away the edges, softening that box, and then all of a sudden we're going to bam, bust one for a big one. If anybody's not doing anything, go and watch the Jaguars game versus the Giants. I think that this team is similar. Not saying that we have the Jaguars defense. We could be better. I know I'm going to get some hate mail for that, but I'm saying collectively we need to go back, watch the Jaguars tape, versus the Giants, and we'll see what type of game plan the Jaguars had, and that's something that we probably have to copy. This is a copycat league. Remember this: last week, everyone that was on the East Coast over there in Baltimore was saying that they were going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to go 16-0, 19-0, etc. We saw last night that the Cincinnati Bengals, they went down there and stumped them. But of course, the Ravens came back. But this is the thing. This is a week-to-week league, and you really don't know where a team is at until November. That's not my words. That's the great Bill Parcells' word. You would never know your team until you get to November, believe it or not. So this is the thing. Yes, the Cowboys started off slow, and yes, Dak Prescott looks like he can't hit water out if he was thrown out of the boat. And trust me, I looked at his film. I looked at most of the things that I could see. But this is the thing. Dak Prescott should not be called to do those things. Dak Prescott need to do this right here. He need to be handing the ball off, handing the ball off, handing the ball off. That's what we paid for the fourth overall pick in 2016. I'm not mistaken that, am I? I mean, come on. Ezekiel Elliott is our first round draft pick, right? So that's who we need to feed. Feed the baby. That's what I'm gonna call him. Feed the baby. Feed Zeke. That's what we got to do out there. I do know it's a chess match, and I knew that Landon Collins. He like saying, okay, maybe if I can frustrate, maybe I can play a mental warfare, maybe I can play a mind game, because I know for sure I need every edge I can going against the Dallas Cowboys. And trust me, I know that the Giants defense are not like some slaw defense. You got to understand too as well. You have to be able to watch out for number 21, number 20 out there on the defense. And then did I mention that front four? My God. And then they are a hybrid type of defense, meaning that they'll play some mixtures of 3-4. Yeah, they'll do that. I've seen them do that. And they'll play some mixtures of some 4-3 defense. They have that front four that know for sure that the weakness is in the interior of the Dallas Cowboys, because we got two guys. We got two guys, Looney. We have number 52. They don't have that many snaps in the National Football League, and they're going to exploit that. So the middle of the pocket is going to be creamed. It's going to be cream, soft cream. But this is the thing. You have to stay true to what the identity of this team should be and what the identity of this team is, and that should be actually running the ball, regardless of whether you get 1 yard, 2 yards, 3. You got to figure out a way. So what that does, and I'm going back to the boxing analogy, the boxing theory of things, right? The rope-a-dope. I mean, Frazier was tearing them up. He was tearing them up. Not Frazier, but it was one of those things where Muhammad Ali was just taking those hits. And then he said, okay, all right, now it's time for me to do my magic. George Foreman didn't know what happened after that. You see what I'm saying? It's all about absorbing, taking the blows, understanding, okay, when will my guy give out? Bam! That's what Muhammad Ali did. He did it with George Foreman. He did it with Frazier. He did it with most of the guys that he fought. It was all a mental warfare. It's all about the mind. And then he lean over and tell him, man, I know some babies that can hit harder than you. And that's what we have to do with the Dallas Cowboys. We have to go out there and snatch this victory. We got to fight for this thing. It's got to be more than just words, more than just lip services. Thank everybody for tuning in to the Comfort Report. I really appreciate you all for being a part of the mix. Shout out to Josh Skinner. Thank you for tuning in. You one of the first people. Let me see. Make sure you're the first person that's in the chat box. Thank you for tuning in too as well. Also, Eric K. Muggs, thank you for tuning in. Kyle Ware, thank you all for tuning in. Lazy Dallas Cowboy Production, thank you. Elite Rob, and also on my Facebook panel, I really thank you guys for tuning in early this morning. Have Tracy, Willie, who else we have? Kerry Teagle, my brother from another mother, Todd Omar. This is Chris Sewell or Seif Felix Escobar. And Jamal Anderson, thank you all for tuning in. Hey, it's always a pleasure, guys. And me as a Cowboys, I'm a fan first. So don't think I'm an analyst or I'm sitting here and this is my day job. But this is the thing. What we have to do is just focus on winning one game at a time. We can't just say, okay, the sink is shipping, let's jump ship. Let's not patch the hole that's on the bottom of the ship. Or sometimes in life, you can be heading down the wrong path. All you have to do is slow down. Get off especially when you're driving, going somewhere that you've never been before. You guys know that. Sometimes the GPS will take you somewhere and you say, okay, I'm going the wrong way. Where I need to go? I'm traveling south. I need to turn up and get north. Just take the next exit. You take the next exit. You just pace calmly, move around and go around to the, to the edge and get back off and go to where that you need to go. So it happens this ways in time. The Dallas Cowboys, we are the most glorified or the team that's on everybody's spotlight, right? And everybody want to say, okay, it's a beautiful story for stuff to crash and burn for the Cowboys. And just trust me, I know right now that the media is just holding back some information so they can wait till like the high marks of the hour so they can put the stuff out there so we can click on it. I know that. Just expect that. Let's just start to expect that. Because with the Randy Gregory stuff, with he had a relapse and stuff like that, and they come out the day of the game, it's crazy. So just expect that, guys. We are the Cowboys. And with that being said, it is what it is. So I know for those who work around in Dallas and those who work in just wherever you work at, come Monday morning, you're going to hear people say win or lose. They're going to say, how about them Cowboys? And when we lose, they like to rub it in real good. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So just expect those type of things. But I will tell you this. Dak Prescott, I'm seeing him a little out of character saying, okay, the challenge is accepted. And I like that. Trust me, I like that because now we know for sure that if the other guys around him, if they're not saying, okay, the challenge is accepted too, then I know for sure what type of team this is. Everything we need to know about this team will come to the forefront this Sunday night. I don't know where you're going to be at, guys, but I know where I'm going to be at, or at least try to be at. It's watching that game and seeing the small things that we need to work on and seeing those things improve. And then if we can get hot, not right now, but hot towards the latter part of the year, OMG, it's going to be medieval. That's all the time I have for right now. I really thank you all for tuning in to The Nation. Hey, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like. Join the notification squad because I go on live like 95 at any given time. And let me know who you guys would like for a film session, a film breakdown on for a specific player or any thoughts that you have out there of a player. And I can go over those players with you all. And we're going to get this thing going one way or another. Just be positive. Let me give you guys one other thing. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lied about, don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hate it and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole career for, broken and stooped and build back up again with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss to lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe one word of your loss. If you can walk with legends like Troy Aikmans and Roger Staubachs, kings and presidents, nor lose the coming touch if neither foe or trolling or loving friends can harm you, Dak Prescott, then you, my friend, if you can fill the unforgetting minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then you, my friend, Dak Prescott has become a true winner, a soldier of quarterbacks out there, and it will happen. All you got to do is hand the ball off to Zeke. He's right there. Just play. but take precaution, Dak Prescott. Challenge, take what the defense give you. And also, don't try to force anything at this level of your career. I understand that this pressure player for the Cowboys. It's always been that way. It seems like that's the rite to passage for the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. To always have the backup looking good and sitting in the corner like, hey, what's up? I'm Danny White. You know what I mean? I'm Rodney Pete. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm Sterling. Whatever the guy name that was behind Troy Aikman. Or even Jason Garrett at one point. People were like, hey, that Thanksgiving game, Jason Garrett throwing the ball off, you know. But it is what it is, guys. Let's get this thing going one way or another. This is your brother. Don't forget to like this button. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Join the notification squad. Peace. Let's go. Let's get this thing going one way or another. Listening to nothing but the best.